Hi, Samantha.
Hi, Todd. Do you want to be my boyfriend?
Sure.
Great. Give me a melt.
My melt?
Yeah, I'm your girlfriend now.
I don't think this is working out.
Subway. Eat fresh.